Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your Star Flames, and we're back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about DDG's mom, Tanya Granberry. She has responded to Halle's claims that she has made against DDG. Now, in case you guys have missed it, Halle was granted a restraining order against DDG. Now, Halle gave a recollection of her and DDG. So basically, DDG came to pick up his son. She was trying to get him settled into his car seat. DDG got frustrated with her, calling her a bitch, yelling at her, and it seems as though there was some kind of argument that developed in that moment. Halle then said DDG repeatedly slammed her face on the steering wheel. Anywho, she went along because she was scared for her son, so she went to DDG's house. DDG's family assured her that the baby's safe, no harm would come to the child, and that's when she was that's when she left the house terrified. Now, since then, as I've said, she has been granted a restraining order. And Halle's saying she has proof. She spoke about having a chipped tooth. She showed bruises on her arm. And she said that DDG entered her premises without any permission, and he took photographs of her bedding, which to her, he was indicating that she was having an affair with someone else. And she's saying that did not happen. Now, after the reports came out via TMZ, DDG's mom, Tanya Granberry, is saying, and I quote, "I don't usually comment or say anything on this internet, even with all the negativity, the lies and hatred towards mine. However, these accusations have made me realize that I have been quiet." I think she means too long. She has too long. Now, I understand that she's DDG's mom, but you can't come out with such a vague statement in defense of your son, because are you saying that Halle was hallucinating, that nothing that she has said happened? What part is she lying? Is she lying about her face being slammed on the steering repeatedly? And how would you know she was lying? Is it that you were there and you saw the entire thing went down and you watched your son abusing a woman, or is it that you're seeing, if her face was slammed on the steering wheel repeatedly, she would have had those images as proof? Because that part I can say is questionable, because she didn't show any images of what her face looked like. She showed that chipped tooth, and I believe that if her face was slammed on the steering wheel, I think that there should have been something else to it. Or is it that her face was just slammed once and her teeth was what hit the steering wheel? And because, if your teeth hits the steering wheel, that can save the rest of your face, and that's how the tooth got chipped. So the mom needs to be specific in this case as to, you're saying she's a liar. She can't be a general liar in this case. There has to be something that for a fact she's lying about. So you coming out to defend your son, calling this girl a liar, only is proving her to be factual. And it's proving you, Tanya, to be the liar, and it's proving DDG to be the aggressor. She had bruises on her arms. How did she get those bruises on her arm? Are you saying that she has been taking steroids? And when people take steroids, they bruise easily. So it could be her handbag that gave her that bruise. The bag slipped off her shoulder, slipped on her, upper shoulder area, and that's how she got bruised. Because this is what happens when someone is on steroids, especially for a period of time. You can have a handbag that has a little bit of weight. It slips off the shoulder, and with you trying to catch it with your arm, and it slides, and with the weight, it can leave that kind of bruising. So Tanya needs to give us some clarity. give us some clarity into where is Halle Bailey lying? Is she lying about, him entering her premises without her permission? Is she lying about DDG calling her a bitch? Is she lying about while she was on vacation, DDG accused her of smashing another guy and having another man around their son? You can't just be coming on the internet with these vague ass statements defending your son. And it shows why your son will never be a better man. And that is because of you, the mom, who's the enabler. Because even if Halle is somewhat lying, I don't think she's lying about everything, because the judge had to have seen some signs that this woman was being, harassed in order for the restraining order to be granted. And we've seen DDG's behavior on the internet towards Halle. He's like, I don't care who she F's. She can F's who she wants. And he first posted those behaviors on the internet, and he was like, I haven't seen my son since yada yada. And the internet was saying, you're lying because your son was on live stream with you. Here's the evidence. You were on live stream saying that you saw your son, and here's the proof. So I do believe there's a liar here, but I don't think it's Halle Bailey. I honestly think it is you and your son, DDG. And now we can see actually where your son gets it from. Like mom, like son. You have groomed your child to be this kind of person. And instead of you basically holding your child accountable, even if a shred of what she's saying is factual, you should be holding your child accountable. You should be apologizing to Halle and insist that Halle speaks the truth, because you know another version. Insist that Halle speaks the truth about what went down. Say, Halle, what happened shouldn't have happened, but how you're putting it out there, that's not what really went down. My son has no right to do any of the things that he did to you, and you have no right to be telling any lies on him. And that's how you do as a mom. As a mom, you can only be a mom for your child. You have to learn a true mom is a mom for others, anyone's child. So I believe that DDG's mom is an enabler, because the mere fact that she's coming out with such vague ass statements about a sensitive matter, you're calling a woman a liar, and you're not saying some of the things that Halle has said is a lie. You openly generalizing, calling her a liar. And when you call someone a liar like that, you're saying that nothing this individual has said is factual, which means that you're calling the legal system the Lulu for believing her lies. So since the court has no idea what the truth is, since Halle is a blatant liar and she is the Lulu, she doesn't know hallucination from reality, and we don't know either, because evidently you take us all for a fool for you to be so bold, so brave, so unapologetic with your fake ass narrative about your son, thinking that people would not be able to reach through your BS. Because how do you come out and call a woman who has experienced abuse and off the internet a liar when we have seen it? And this is why oftentimes a lot of women will say men are the way they are because of their mom. And DDG's mom is one such example, saying that, oh my God, no one is going to lie on mine. Who's lying? Where's the lie? Where did she tell the lie? About what specifically? And if she lied, what's the truth? How can we get the truth? Where's your evidence? Because Halle is not just saying these things, she's coming with receipts. And if you don't have any supporting evidence to back up your statement, for now, we have to consider you the liar, because you're using this woman for clout, just as how your son has been using and is using her for clout. So you're showing us that there's a pattern here in this family: narcissism, abusive, gaslighting, and also blatant liars. There's a mirror image going on here between mother and son. Both of them are the same thing. The mom is coming out looking for some clout, because if she wasn't looking for clout, you could have said, we never saw you looking abused on that day that you came to the house. And it could be that she was and you guys weren't paying attention. Or you could say you never came to the house at any point in time with such thing, but you can't be out here just vaguely calling this girl a liar. You can't be out here vaguely calling a woman who has experienced trauma a liar without outlining the lies. Get that TMZ report, put in red circles all the lies, and say, these are lies. This is not the actual story. And then we can say, okay, we can see where that makes sense. The only thing I can point out that Halle had said is questionable is her face being slammed on the steering, because I'm saying, where are those photographs? Or could it be that her face was slammed, but just her mouth was hit, and that's how she chipped that tooth? But you can't be out here just freelancing, calling a survivor because she's a survivor. She survived the horrible hands of your son. And here you are ensuring that your son does not strive for change by supporting his lying, abusive, narcissistic, gaslighting behavior. He abused Ruby Rose just the same, psychologically, and he has physically abused Halle based on her allegations, which means that he's going to go on and abuse the next woman on the account of his mama. His mama is telling the internet the girl is lying, so you are fueling your son. You're helping to foster that monster within your child. And you're going to be the one who has to consistently be his cleanup crew. But how long will you be able to clean up for? Because you're only setting up yourself and your son for a downfall. And your son may very well start beating on you next when he realizes that you have been an enabler to his bad behavior when you should have been correcting him. So I'm just saying, watch your back, because you could be next. Anywho, guys, let me know what's your take. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, share, stay safe, and we have to talk some more in the comment section. Peace.